So not yesterday. So on Saturday, the 21st, around evening time, around 6, Donald Trump ordered an attack on nuclear sites in Iran, and it caught everyone off guard. It was breaking news at the time. So why am I talking about this? What are we talking about? Well, this is the liberty cry to call out and crying out the absolute inhumane injustice and the absolute offense Donald Trump has done. So, as of Saturday, he ordered pretty much the worst case scenario we all feared would happen: a unprovoked and un just pretty much unprovoked attack on Iran, which is highly illegal. For even now, some might say, "Oh, no, he had every right." That was between Israel and Iran, and we were trying to stay out of wars. So let's go back a bit. When he was campaigning, he says, I will end the war between Russia and Ukraine. That didn't happen. He wants to be the president that ended wars. He lied. He's lying about everything. Donald Trump does not care about anything because here, when he became that, when his first 100 days, he couldn't end the war on his day one. Just couldn't do it with Ukraine and that. So, yeah, Donald Trump lost. And he is losing badly, especially with the courts all going against him, and especially after the No Kings rally on his birthday / military parade didn't go so well. So now, why are we talking about this? This is an important moment. We are now at the razor's edge of a constitutional crisis at the beginnings of it. This is so offensive to everyone, to all his constituents that he says he was not going to start a war. Now he has. He does not care. And honestly, he literally went against Congress. It is right here in our Constitution that he cannot act without the consent of the Congress. And you know what? Let's read about that. That's in Section 8. So it says, the Congress shall have power to lay and collect taxes, duties, impose, and excise, to pay the debt, and provide for the common defense and general welfare of the United States. But all duties imposed and exercised shall be uniform throughout the United States, to borrow money as a credit to the United States, to regulate commerce with foreign nations and among several states, and with the Indian tribes, to establish a uniform rule of naturalization and uniform laws on the subject of bankruptcy throughout the United States, to coin money, to regulate the value throughout and of foreign coin, and fix the standard of weights and measures, to provide for the punishments of counterfeiting the securities and current coin of the United States, to establish a post office and post roads, to promote the progress of science and useful arts by securing for limited times about authors and inventors the exclusive rights to their respective writings and discoveries, to continuate tribunals inf, inferior to the superior court, to contribute tribunals inferior to the Supreme Court. Sorry, it's been a while since I read this. Sorry. To define and punish piracy and felonies committed on the high seas and offenses against the laws of the nation. Okay, here's the important part right here. To declare war, grant letter marque, and reprisals. To declare war, grant letters of marque and reprisals, to make rules concerning captures on land and water, to raise armies to raise and support armies, but no appropriations of money that to that use shall be for a long term than 2 years. To buy for the Navy and to provide maintenance to the Navy. I'm going to stop there because let's go back a paragraph. To declare war. It is in Article 1 of of Section 8 of that Constitution. Congress has the power to declare war. Donald Trump has none. I read Article 2. He doesn't have it. This is pretty much an impeachable defense. Now, I'm like, oh, you're being too irrational. That's not impeachable. Yeah, it is. Even if he did get like all of a sudden like, oh, I told my Republican friends about it, but he didn't tell the Democrats. No, the whole Congress. Doesn't matter. It's both sides of the aisle has to know. This is going to be finally the straw that broke the camel's back. He is going to be impeached. He has to. This is not something we can stand anymore. He has broken his promises, which is not surprising for those of us and others who are fighting for democracy and that, but also for those who are believing him. Those who are saying, no, you're being hyperbolic about this. He didn't mean it. He's just trying to stop the war between Israel and Iran. No, he's escalating. He is firing on places that we have no business being in, especially in wartime. He has no wartime powers. He is forcing it. He is manufacturing all these scenarios. He is the arsonist pretending to be the hero, which he's not. So this gets to a very critical moment. Why is not everyone so appalled by this? Well, honestly, I was numb to it. When I heard, I'm like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. And I just let it go. And all of a sudden it's like, it caught me off guard that I was so numb to it. I'm like, no, he can't do this. Donald Trump has to go through Congress. And as I repeat myself, the Republicans have the House by the slimmest of margins. So they really need the Democrats. And because he did not tell the Democrats, he is not going to get them. They are angry. They are enraged. And now, if I were the Republicans, I would put the buck stops here. They got to start pumping the brakes and stop the bill, which is the biggest thing he is. He is losing on all fronts. He is losing in the courts and in public opinion. And all of this is a distraction. An important one, but the biggest distraction to his big, beautiful bill. But all of this, even his big, beautiful bill, should be killed immediately. We cannot continue this. It saddens and it's disheartening that we have to have this conversation that he is not good for the country. He's a laughing stock to the world. He thinks himself as a dictator. He's a wannabe dictator. He does not care about our safety, and he is escalating wars against blue states. He is now declaring war on blue states that do not agree with him, that ICE should go to very sensitive locations such as church, hospitals, schools, workplaces, and courthouses. We already saw what happens in one courthouse. They were lying in wait, and look what happened to the mayor candidate, getting him escorting one guy out, got jumped and dragged, and they said, oh, he threw hands. No, he had his arms locked around another guy, hit the immigrant's arm to make sure he did not get thrown out, arrested. Unfortunately, that pretty much happened. And he is just escalating the situation over and over. This has got to stop. This is the liberty cry to calling out and crying out, we must stand. He is going to kill us. We cannot give him an inch, for he will kill us. He is taking our liberties and the rights to due process, and of habeas corpus that it is in this very book, the Constitution, that he is not following. All of what he has done is under the impeachment. He has to be impeached. So, this is the Liberty Choir. Stay tuned. Keep listening. Call out and cry out the injustices that we're seeing. Thank you very much. Keep watching. Thank you.